As a professional 3D animator, I sometimes have some pretty strong opinions on animations that I watch. And recently I've been asking my Twitch chat to send me some animations I haven't seen before so we can break it down together. And they really delivered when they sent me this. Sonic X Shadow, Dark Beginnings. You honestly might not believe me when I say this is 3D, not 2D. I don't think enough people appreciate how difficult this was to pull off, so let's talk about exactly how they did it. Have you guys not seen this yet? Anyone who hasn't seen it yet, we're gonna watch the whole thing through once. 50 years ago. Damn, Shadow's old.
Shadow! Hurry!
It's crazy.
Hurry! You have to see this!
This does not look 3D. This does not look 3D.
Look!
The hair looks a little 3D. At the very beginning, I just want to point this out. Notice how the feet just slide and nobody cares. It's on 2s and nobody cares. 2D. Love it. Absolutely love it. It just works really well. This feels super 2D as well. Look at this.
Shadow!
That does not look 3D, guys. I'll tell you why it does look 3D. Some things that give it away. Like, this is probably the biggest giveaway. Like, this shadow here doesn't make a lot of sense. Most likely, there would be no shadows here and it'd just be, like, a little bit cleaner. The reason why it doesn't look 3D anywhere else is because the face doesn't change. So they're doing a really good job maintaining that silhouette of the face and then just moving, like, the head as a whole. This is a really, really big thing with animation in 3D when you're trying to preserve a 2D look. If you can avoid rotating the head, you should avoid rotating the head because the moment you rotate it, it gives parallax and it gives the impression of 3D. Same here. Notice how even though she's moving a lot, her head stays at the exact same angle. It's almost tracked to camera, but in motion, it looks fine. That's what 2D artists would do. And it reads better too. You can actually like read her mouth and all these things. Like it feels so much better. The only other thing that really reads as 3D is her hair. Her hair is way too chonky to be in 2D because in 2D, they would not group it together in such a way. 2D is a lot more loose. They kind of move the hair however they want. There is obviously some chunks and strands, but they always try to make it feel a little bit looser. But in 3D, you have to chunk it together because of how rigging works. You can't really have so many strands that it becomes unruly. But still, definitely works, and it definitely reads as 2D overall with the movement and the animation here. See how she like teleports here? That's also a really 2D thing to do, and it works really well. Her hand's also a little bit 3D looking, but that's a small thing. You see the flatness of her knuckles here? This is a small thing that like happens because of rigging. It's like a weight painting thing. Ideally, you have like sharp knuckles. Like you're supposed to have like slightly sharp knuckles when like in real life and also in like 2D, they would usually draw sharper knuckles there. So small thing, you can add corrective shape keys for this. There's a lot of things you can spend more time on to make it perfect, but this is already passable, so it's like whatever.
It's lights.
It's the Aurora Borealis.
But other than that, it looks like it could
You
easily
can
be
only
2D.
see them from certain latitudes down there.
Crazy.
But up here, we can see the whole...
Maria.
Catch her! Oh, I love the slight skating motion that he does there.
Thank you.
Oh, so good.
I just pushed it a little.
Her head would definitely have touched the
The low
ground.
gravity here only keeps
Spider-Man
your
rules.
condition in remission. You should know better than to exert yourself.
The mouths are perfect. They always have perfect line art for the most part, which is really good. Like right here, every time she closes her mouth, it's perfectly that center bit erased, which is, you know, a little hard to do sometimes with 3D consistently. And then also they just kind of move. The mouth kind of goes wherever it wants in whatever shape it wants. I'm 90% sure the mouths are completely hand drawn. 90% sure they're grease pencil mouths. And they are very well done. Did the light in her eyes go out when she started passing out? Yeah, I think so, probably. But that might just be an eyelid thing. Let me just double check. Oh yeah, you're right. The light's just gone. Oh, this is a really subtle thing. Oh wow. And we're talking about eyelights here. The eyelight here is on his left, or on screen left, I should say, on his right. But over here, the eyelight is on the right. That's fascinating. They actually have like very conscious control of where the eyelights are. Very interesting. Wonder how they're making that decision. That's cool. And now it's on the left again. Crazy.
You should know better than to exert yourself.
I know. You're right. But when it comes to the beauty of the Earth, I can't help myself. I can't wait for the day.
That's a great side view.
Finally return.
I was created here.
I wonder how they do their side views,
I don't
actually.
know if there's a place for me on Earth. Professor Gerald made me the ultimate life form. I should be the key to all manner of medicines. Curing you.
That mouth shape was gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that mouth shape, guys. So this is another reason why I think the mouths are drawn in. This is a really difficult angle to get right in 3D for the mouths. Look at that mouth. It's beautiful. It's very 2D looking because in 3D, in order to get that like lip line to show up in front of it, it takes a lot of extra effort. Normally you'd have a 3D mouth. This is very clearly a 2D mouth. It's just staying with the silhouette of the original mesh and it has the mouth right there. That's so much easier to do in 2D than in 3D. Yeah, and it transitions so well too. It's just crazy. How do they get this side profile to work so well? Like think about it, right? Normally the mouth would be over here, right? right? So the mouth is all over here. You can do this with 3D to a degree, especially with his mouth being relatively solid colored. But like in 2D, they just sort of move the mouth wherever they want. So it's all the way over here to the side, and it works really well. And I'm pretty sure it's drawn. Look at this transition. It's on the side, and they keep the mouth visible at this angle, which is wild. And it's still not even on the edge. Like, it's still like, oh god, bro. Like, he's talking out of the side of his ear. That's hilarious. Look at that. That's a 2D mouth right there. That's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. To get this shape, it would just take way too much effort in 3D, in my opinion. The compositing is also beautiful. Oh yeah, look at that. Screen wipe. That's a cool mouth transition.
I'm just as happy to spend time with you here while you both research.
Oh no. Oh no. That's $1 million gone. Those effects are so pretty. That's all 2D animated for sure. God, it's so pretty. Even the sparks are 2D animated. Oh wow. Multiple subjects. Oh, there's only one guy. Yeah, I definitely think they're doing some sort of distortion on the face. Because I do want to know, like, how are they looking forward here and then looking so good, and then when they turn to the side, their side view still looks so good. Because usually you can't have both. You can't have both a good-looking 3/4 view here and a good-looking side view in anime. It's just practically impossible. You can kind of do it, depends. But like, generally speaking, it's really, really hard. I feel like they definitely have some sort of what we're calling camera keys. We have a similar system. So you have a driver where you can have the angle of the camera drive a shape key that pulls the eye back, for example. That definitely feels like what they're doing because it looks too good. Also, look at this. The mouth is suddenly openable. That's hair in the back. Other than that, like, the mouth is actually openable. So it kind of further proves that the previous mouth was definitely like drawn on top. Flattening the lattice, they might do the flattening the lattice, but that's actually, it's more of a modeling thing. Oh, interesting. You can see the 3D-ness of her model here, actually. So their 3/4 view actually doesn't work super well from this angle. Robot looks so good. Damn. Oh, guys, what are these effects? That's just great 2D artistry, man. That's just absolutely gorgeous, dude. All the decisions that go into this chaotic, like, every single frame is different. Like, what? Dude, but it still builds on top of each other. That's so cool.
Shadow, you have to save him!
Maria!
I'll handle this. Just wait here.
Wait here in the exploding building? Bro, you better be faster than... Goddamn. You just left her. Bro, she's gonna die. That's crazy. The skating animation looks pretty good. Oh no. Oh! Dude, this just doesn't look 3D, man. Obviously the backgrounds look 3D, but the characters, they don't look 3D, bro. So good. That looks really good. Hang on. Yeah, I was gonna say, this looks way better than normal. This whole thing is 2D animated. They replaced her. They replaced her. This is not a 3D model anymore, guys. Her eye shape is slightly different. It's more angular. You see that? They just replaced her entirely. This is like a more angular eye shape. The brow shadows are perfectly matched with her brows, which wasn't there before. Notice how the strands have a bit more separation now. She's got a lot more angularity in general in her body, but like, look at her hair. Look at that. Now we have like extra hair strands, extra hair strands, extra hair strands, extra hair strands. This is fully 2D animated, probably on top of a plate for a 3D model, but like, yeah, they just drew on. They redrew her face, they redrew everything. This is fully 2D because she doesn't move. It's a single pose. She doesn't move at all, so it's like super easy to do. The knuckles, exactly. Look how angular the knuckles are. That's like really, really nice. That angularity in general for all of her stuff is like much more appealing in 2D because they can sort of control all that on the fly, whereas in 3D there's like a lot of controls you got to do on top of that. But this is cool because it's actually really seamless. It does look better than like the rest of the images that I saw earlier. I was like, this is good. This is good. It's decent. I can still kind of tell there's like, this is kind of 3D. Like, notice her angularity is not as high, but then suddenly I was like, this looks way too good. I was like, that's crazy. But it actually doesn't look that much better than the 3D stuff, because honestly the 3D stuff's already really good. So huge props either way, but this looks gorgeous. This is 3D. I wasn't sure. I was like, is this 2D? But this is 3D. And I can only tell because of the shadows on the hands. That's really it. It's just like slightly blobby on the hands. My God, dude, it's actually crazy. That's 2D. This is all 2D. They don't have a 3D model for the professor because they don't really animate him that much. This might be 3D because they definitely have a 3D of the robot. Is this guy 2D? Yeah, that guy's 2D for sure. Oh no. Oh! Oh no! The footwork! Oh God! Yes! Oh my God! Holy shit! He destroyed the fabric of reality.
This isn't right.
And my pants. Okay, let's just talk about this fight, dude. Oh my god. Oh, the footwork. Oh my god. Okay. I'm just frame through this. Choreography-wise, this is gorgeous. Like, what? What is even happening? Oh, look at the smear, dude. Dude, this is such a gorgeous frame. You could not tell me this is 3D. Look, they even have a bit of squash and stretch here. Look at that. It's insane. Wait, is that a refraction plane? Is that our refraction plane? No way. No way. No. I don't believe it. What is this shape, dude? So they animated this like a 2D animation. Even though they're using 3D, they're doing it in mixed frames. So look, every single pose is so intentional. Look at the line of action here. Like you can see the curve already before he even starts moving. That's just beautiful, dude. They have controls on every single one of the spines. Every single one of these spikes has like the ability to be curved so that the animators can really just push all of his shape language. Looks like they have a shadow map on his chest fur, which is pretty cool. It looks good from most angles. Oh, hang on. I gotta check out this choreo. Oh, he got parried there. Dodge, block, block, parry, block, punch. He only does one punch? That's crazy. So that was all blocking. Yeah, that feels good, dude. So impactful.
This is the Guardian Units of Nations. Prepare to be boarded.
The soldiers. They storm the Ark. Destroy all evidence. But it's too soon. It's happening too quickly.
Damn. How is this 3D, bro? This is insane. So good. Oh, the shadows on his face? What the hell?
Professor, we must...
That's such a cool directing thing. God, I love that so much. God, it's so good. The animation's so good, dude. Literally the only thing is the hand shadows. Like that, I'm like, that's 3D. Everything else would easily be 2D. Their line thickness is a little too even. Like, I think that's another thing. Like, they could have a bit more variance on the line thickness. But other than that, it's really, really convincing. They also have these subtle gradients here of the lighting. I think that's done in comp. I can't tell. It could be in shader. But they have, like, the subtle gradients for the lighting as well, which is really cool. Oh, this part is so good, dude. It's also a 2D professor there. So, like, this is... I was like, oh, the shadows are so good. But that's because it's just 2D animated. It's mostly just a single image, so fair is fair. It's such a cool concept, dude. I love that so much. Start skating, Shadow, do it. Oh, I love the reach between like every skate. He has a reach. It feels really good from an acting perspective. They combine the physics of like having to skate and swing his arms while having to reach at the same time really well. It's convincing. Oh my god. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Whoa. That's so well done, dude. Like, what a cool effect. They have real volumetrics, but with like custom shadows. Whoa. This part is so good. It feels very Valorant. This feels like Valorant's entire aesthetic. Dude, this is such good storytelling. Like, they're like, oh yeah, no, they shot her. She's dead. These are obviously all drawn, I'm pretty sure. Although, hang on, there's depth to her 3D model. Hang on. This might be actually a depth map that they rendered out. Yeah, no, this is 3D. So this is cool. They used a 3D model for this because you can tell each one of the strands is chunky. So it's got that chunkiness from the 3D model. The reason being is because they wanted to use the depth map of the 3D model to get this hand to be closer, to get the other hand to be a little further away. And they multiplied that depth map, which multiplies on top of the volumetric depth map underneath it for the clouds and stuff. They're actually using that to figure out like where to separate out like different aspects of the body. They definitely push the head a little bit closer, a couple things here and there, but like they're taking advantage of that, I think, pretty well. I'm pretty sure that's how they separate out this hand, which looks gorgeous too. They might just be drawing this as well. Yeah, it could also be 2D cut into pieces, but I'm pretty sure they use the 3D as a base. I could be wrong. Each one of these frames looks like it could be 2D. Yeah, I mean, that looks gorgeous. Impact frames, absolutely gorgeous. Custom made.
That was no mere nightmare.
That was a Chaos Emerald.
And it all began in view of the Ark. Could he have survived? No. That can't be.
I can see some slight 3D shadows on that shot. That's so pretty, dude. Oh, dude, I cannot believe this is 3D. Okay, there's one shot that I noticed some blobby shadows on the face. It's right here. There we go. This right here, this slightly blobby. Now I'm like, oh, okay, that's 3D. I could easily believe this is 3D, but it's only because the light had to come that direction. I think they could have done a slight manipulation of the light here, but like generally speaking, that's what you get when you have the light there. But yeah, that's so good, dude. Oh, look at the glow in the eyes there. This is obviously more of a comp thing, but it looks really good. Also, the eye light is so interesting. Right here, notice how when he looks down, the eye light it's not stuck to the iris. See that? The eye light actually shifts over the iris. I wonder if that's done by hand, because usually in 2D stuff, you just stick it to the iris because it's actually an important part of the character design. But this one just like, it just kind of drifts. That's so pretty. That's so pretty. Someone just drew a couple scribbles and was like, this is gonna be lightning, and it looks so cool. Sorry, I'm allergic to talent. Oh god. This is not one of the best 3D 2D animations you guys have ever seen. I've legitimately not seen anything this convincing in a while. Granted, it is Shadow, so like it's a little bit easier to get away with it with non-humanoid characters. Like Shadow is a very stylized character, so you can really like make it work without telling all the different imperfections and stuff. Human faces are a little bit harder. So like Maria looks fantastic, honestly, really good, but her hair still reads very 3D. So that's like one of the giveaways, more so than Shadow. Like Shadow has very small giveaways. Like it's just the blobs on his hands and like a couple of angles here and there. But other than that, he might as well be 2D, but it's hard to tell. They did such a good job. Huge shout out to Studio Simage or Simage. They're an animation studio in Hong Kong. They did an amazing job. They honestly fooled me initially, which is pretty rare, but I'm curious if they fooled you guys. Were there any parts that you thought were 2D that were actually 3D or vice versa? Let me know in the comments. Highlighting the work that goes into animations like this is exactly what we're trying to do on this channel. So if you want to see me break down more amazing animations, make sure to subscribe to catch the next one, or drop by the Twitch stream. Or you can watch this video right here where I also break down amazing animations. YouTube thinks you'll like it, so I mean, you might as well, you know what I mean?